All
Thank
right.
you.
Let's slide it off. Let's slide off. Well, Calvin, first and foremost, bro, I appreciate you having me on here. I'll touch on my story and everything like that. First thing I want to say is, dude, being able to meet you in the very beginning of the business, it was first 3 months in the business. And dude, I absolutely got a ton of value from you, a ton of knowledge. You're a super big help and a very important part of my journey. So, dude, like, absolutely, I love being on this meeting, sharing as much value with your team as possible, guys. But a little bit about me. I'm 22. I started in blue collar whenever I was 18 years old. Um, did that for about 3 years, and I'm like, you know what, this is just not for me. And I was making, some decent money, but it's if you're not happy making it, you're not passionate about making it, it's really hard. And also, I was 18 making a bunch of money, and I was a really bad decision maker, and I'm a lot better now, but really bad decision maker. Some alcohol, some stupid stuff, a bunch of cars, a bunch of wrecked cars. It was just a whole big thing. Lost a bunch of money, right? So I got to this point where, I'm negative in my account. My Chase Bank is red, right? And I'm like, man, what are we gonna do from here? And I start soul searching. I look at everybody around me. I'm like, all these guys are 40, 56 years old. They've got the same thing going on. I'm like, I got to break the cycle, something. And you hear people say all this cliche stuff, but people say the cliche stuff because the cliche stuff actually works. You hear a lot of millionaires always talking about cliche stuff, but the cliche stuff is cliche because it gets said a lot. So that means if it gets said a lot, there's probably some truth to it. So everybody always says nothing changes if nothing changes. Well, one day sometimes you just got to wake up and decide to change something. Just change freaking something, and then you'll make a change, right? So I woke up one day and I'm like, you know what, man, fuck this. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done being average. I'm done being broke. I'm done not being able to provide for a family. I'm done not being able to see a future. So I do some soul searching, man. I hop on YouTube. I'm looking at, I'm watching everything I can get my hands on. I'm just trying to, knowledge here, pull from everybody and everything that I possibly can. And lucky enough, one day God puts me in front of Sean Mike, not in person, on my YouTube, on my screen, right? And Sean Mike pretty much became my virtual mentor for like 3 months. I started watching him, started watching his business grow. I started watching, all this different stuff that he was talking about, sales and building a business and, bettering your life and bettering other people's life. I'm like, damn, bro, like I got to get into freaking sales. So I'm like, okay, got to get into sales. Let's get into sales. So I start looking at what's the best type of sales. Obviously, he's setting on a jet and he's talking about life insurance. He's rich as hell. I'm like, dude, I'm getting into insurance. What's it take? So I I looked around. I'm like, all right, I got to get my license. I got to do this. Started going through the licensing process. And now I keep going down the rabbit holes. I'm trying to get as much value as possible. I'm watching Grady Polson's videos. And then all of a sudden, boom, Ronnie Salem pops up on my screen. He's got two videos with Grady Polson. Nobody else had two videos with Grady Polson. So I was like, oh, shit, let me work with this guy. And found him, sent him a message. It's always funny if you ever hear him tell the story. It's so funny when he tells it. But like, I literally sent him a recruit like through the FFL portal that they give us. I sent him a message. It's like sliding into the DMs, but it was an email because I was professional now. And I said, recruit me, all caps, everything like that. Super desperate. I was definitely the person that nobody should have hired because I was a big dumb idiot. But he hired me, took a chance on me. And dude, props to Ronnie Salem because he has shown me how to build a business, how to become a leader, how to be very profitable, and how to sell a crap ton of insurance. So I'm super thankful for him. And then obviously, as we've gone by, we're now a year in the business, we got a $500,000 team, and we can sell some freaking insurance. So that's kind of
So,
my story.
real quick, I know you won't touch on this because you're humble as hell, but what's been your biggest month personal production and what are you guys sitting as a team right now?
Yeah, so personal production, highest month was 57. And then we were just short, this is sales, so we always round up, but we were just short of 500K last month as last month came out. So
Well, sales we round up. So you hit 500K as a team and as a last month, so new record, and then highest production month as a personal producer, 57K. Those are outstanding numbers. You don't meet a lot of people in this business that make it that far. So if you want to learn some value on how to get there and do it in less than 12 months or right at 12 months, like make sure you're taking notes because this shit's about to be important for you guys. There's a lot of important things that we can implement that are not don't take some crazy innate skill. But Drew, like what kind of started this journey with like making sure that you focus on your production and like specifically your schedule? We'll start with schedule. What's your schedule like now and has it changed at all over time with producing at a high level and recruiting at a high level?
Yes, absolutely. So that's one thing, that's one of the biggest struggles in the business. Like as you start to progress, some things have to change, right? So obviously it's progressed and my schedule is like obviously like my schedule is a hybrid schedule now between between really training because that's where the money is made is training, right? You have to recruit, you have to, and most of your money is made selling. Let's not get that confused because that's your bread and butter and it will be for a long time.
Mhm.
Even when you're at 500,000 and even when you're at a million, your bread and butter is selling. So we're always going to sell. It's always going to be the most important, right? But where you really start to build a team is whenever you build individuals, right? As whenever you get people selling. So now I have a hybrid schedule. But in the beginning, the most important schedule that I've always had was um showing and whatever you do in the morning before, like
What
it
does
really doesn't
the
matter.
hours look like? What are you doing hours wise? Are you getting at the office at 8? You getting there at 9? Like kind of what is that? And what time do you go home?
Getting there, I'm on the phones. So I get into the office at like 8:30 and then I'm on the phones by 9 o'clock. I
Okay.
take I take a 30-minute lunch at my desk. Like that's it. I get a DoorDash. And
Hmm.
then, from there, dialing again from 12:30 or 1 to 7, 8 o'clock. And typically 9, like honestly, I'm typically going till 9. But a lot of times, we have Zoom calls at 7, 8, whatever. So typically in that 8 to 9 period, that's whenever I'm selling. And
What real quick,
after that, it's just recruiting.
what during your schedule, like from selling, which is like 8 a.m. to 9 a.m., 8 a.m. to like noon, then lunch, and then 12:30 to like 8 p.m. Now, during that specific amount of time that you're actually calling, when are you connecting with the most people? Is it in the evening or in the morning?
I mean, dude, in the morning, honestly, like it's two before two. Like before 2 o'clock, you should be getting two sales out. And then like after 2 o'clock is where you really can go push, another two or three policies out. Like
Okay.
honestly, like your goal should always be two before two. I think power hour, honestly, is like three. You're gonna get a lot of pickups. You're gonna get a lot of people start to answering. But it's super important to always have your mindset two policies by two.
Two policies by two, and then if you don't get two policies by two, you're going until you're done. Are you going until like 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock? I've always seen you guys work so late, which I think is huge in the beginning because people don't recognize that and apply it. They hear it, but they don't do it. So like I imagine you and most of your guys in your office are staying like past 8 o'clock, right? For the most part, if they didn't hit their goal.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we have like a two policy non-negotiable. So if you're
Okay.
not hitting two, like you and we always say, do we always say this? Like one policy a day it's only enough to like make you pay a lot in taxes and have a lot of chargebacks. So when you start getting two a day, it's when you start getting real profitable. So we have a two a day standard, and if you don't hit that by 7 o'clock, you're probably not going home.
Hell yeah. I like that too. Two before two. Everybody can easily apply that and it's easy to remember. Now, like whenever you hit your 57K specifically, because we have a lot of young producers in here, and then we'll kind of touch on like the leads and the managing piece here in a second. Whenever you were selling your two before two, or I imagine you still are now, like, are you specifically buying brand new leads? Are you buying age leads? Are you buying a mix of leads? And then how much do you spend per week on leads? And then I'll kind of go into that.
You're talking about the 57K month?
Yeah, like 57K or there's
Yeah.
even a 40K. I've always been a big believer of 40K or die or like 40K and you're not profitable. So like can you explain like how to sell more than 40K?
Yeah, 2 grand in lead spend. I mean, to be honest, honestly, like I'm not that good at selling insurance. I
Yeah,
just got more opportunities and I worked more. Like you have two things that can be in your favor, and it's like how many leads you have and how much time you have. So in the beginning, I was broke. I had no money. So, it was like I got some free leads, and I worked a lot. I worked all my hours. Me and Tanner were working till freaking 11 o'clock, dude. But the 57K month, dude, definitely it was $2,000 a week in lead spend.
okay. And that was also including Saturdays and Sundays, or what did that look like?
Oh, absolutely, dude. Saturdays. Sundays, bro, I kind of like try to get right with the Lord. Kind of go to the gym because I skip the gym a lot because I'm a I skip the gym. I'm a slacker, but I try to hit the gym, get right with the Lord. I don't really work on Sundays. I did in the beginning. I'll be very clear, like I did in the beginning. And bro, Mahmoud Nasser always told me, he goes, you should work Sundays until you have 100 grand in your bank, straight up. And I'm like, you know what? Fuck it, let's do it.
I agree with
So
that statement. I did the same exact thing. So whenever you were like I like a lot of people don't see it anymore just because of like where I'm at in the business, but like from you, from 0 to 500K, like how did you get everybody else to get the same motion that you got when we talk about building up leaders? Like how did you develop your managers to be able to sell at a high level? Because I think selling is important, and I think that's the only way you can stay in the business, obviously. But how did you get them to start, seeing the value in the vision and seeing how, applying the plug and play system to make it work for them and not just like a single person. Like they're not doing anything special, obviously. So like, what are they doing, or what are you doing to teach them to get to selling 40K a month as a producer and then start building?
Well, dude, getting people to sell 40K, honestly, and I learned this from Sean, it's pretty much just breaking down the numbers for people. And I pull my calculator out in front of people. I'm like, hey, this is what I made. This is why. This is what I sold. I said, if you do this at your comp level, and then you just break it down on a calculator, hey, this is what you'll make if you start selling this. Also, if you only sell 20, 25K a month, this is how much you're going to pay in taxes because now you're only spending this much in leads. Don't have a lot of write-offs. You're just going to get taxed at like a 30% level. And like, that's great, but you should probably sell more insurance. Right.
Yeah.
So, and I'm just straight up with people like, hey, dude, like you're a 1099 contractor. You're going to have to like pay some taxes. So you should probably just sell some more insurance.
Mhm.
And it's the biggest thing that you can do to get people to sell more insurance is you sell more insurance.
Mhm.
Like, and that's what I noticed. Like, I saw our numbers go down. Like, whenever we were sitting around 300, but we went back down like to like 270. And I'm like, ah, shit. Well, I stopped selling for like a minute because I was doing a bunch of stuff. I was distracted and I was non-intentional. And then I was like, ah, no, hell no. Like, hell no. Like, I'm gonna go build some other 40K producers. If they don't see me sell 40K, why would they ever do more than me? Why would
Mhm.
they ever sell more than me? Why would they even sell half of me if I'm not selling 40K? They'll probably just sell like 15 and go broke, and then they'll fell out of the business. Because if you're not even selling 15K, you should probably find a different job. You should just go work 9 to 5. And that's what I'll tell people, you know what I mean? Like, dude, you gotta at least, dude, and it's so easy to just show up and sell 20K. It's so easy to show up and sell 20K. But for one, you'll probably never sell more than 20K if you're not spending, 1,000, 1,200 bucks a week in leads. You know what I mean? But the most important part is if you're not like, dude, if you're not selling, they're not selling.
So
They
let's break
never
down
will.
the selling piece. Like let's go through the numbers, let's go through the script, like let's go through the stuff that people can actually use. Because I want this for people to be able to take this today, apply it as soon as this call's over, and apply it through Friday and Saturday. So can you kind of like dive into that and go through that, how you're gonna break that down and what's important here?
Breakdown, what was it?
Yeah, can you break down the lead spin, the numbers like you just talked about, and then we'll dive into the script.
Yeah. So pretty much you have to kind of know your numbers. Like what would you say your typical agent is spending right now?
I would say probably like $1,000 a week.
A
Uh,
thousand bucks a week.
for like the average.
Do you know what your average like producer is at?
Yeah, it's like 12 to 15K.
12 to 15K. So you got $1,000 a week and you're selling 12 to 15K on average. So everybody's obviously going to be different, but you need to take how much money you're spending on leads a month, how much your average IP is, and then you just have to figure out what you want to hit. And then that's how you're just going to reverse do the math on how much more leads that you need to spend. Like if you're over 3 months in the business, you're probably just not going to get any better on the phone. You probably just need to spend more money on leads. Like like to be honest, like if you don't have like your word tracks figured out after 3 months, like you probably don't need to get better at selling. You probably just need to spend more in leads. So, and I was typically setting around like the 30K level whenever
Okay.
I was spending like 1,200, 1,400. I was setting at like the 30K level.
Mhm.
And then by the time, dude, I asked Ronnie, I'm like, hey man, dude, like, what do I got to do to start building? He goes, you got to sell more. I'm like, well, how do I sell more? It's like, you got to spend 2 grand in a week in leads. Like, this is what you're selling on 30. Like this is what you're selling on 1,200. Like you just have to have more leads. You're
Mhm.
not getting any better. So dude, if you're not doing 1,200, go do 1,200. I think 1,200 is like a bare minimum is what you should spend in leads.
Mhm.
And then at some point you got to just go to 1,500 and then go to 2 grand if you really want to take it to the next level. And that's it.
And you're mostly doing vet leads, right?
Yeah, 100% bets.
Cool. Let's you cool diving in the script real quick?
Yeah, absolutely, bro. You want to role play with me?
Yeah, I'll role play with you.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Calvin.
Yes,
Yeah, hey, Calvin. This is Drew with Veteran Benefit Office. How you doing today?
I'm good.
Awesome, awesome. Well, Calvin, reason I'm calling you is in regard to the final expense and life options for veterans, and I'm actually going to be the one assigned to your file here. Just to confirm for you, Calvin, I got your date of birth here is bang, 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 correct?
Yeah, that's my date of birth, but
Right, perfect,
why were you
perfect. Yeah, perfect. So, what was your objection?
Why are you calling?
Yeah, so this is actually just in regard to the final expense and life options. Your date of birth is bang bang bang, correct?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. And I show you here as honorably discharged, correct?
Yes.
All right, perfect. Thank you for your service, Calvin. Now, Calvin, it shows here on my side, your main concern was kind of just like most veterans, wanting to make sure the funeral expense didn't fall burden on any loved ones, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. And were you also wanting to leave anything extra behind as well if possible, or just cover expenses?
Well, how much does it cost?
I'm not sure yet. I'll let you know as soon as I do, though. Were you just wanting to cover funeral expenses or leave some
Uh,
extra money behind?
Probably just depends on the cost, but definitely funeral expenses.
Okay, definitely funeral expenses. Gotcha, gotcha. So, Calvin, what we'll do is spend a minute or so here on yourself, your financial situation, because my job is to find you something affordable. After that, we'll spend about 2 minutes on your health. That's going to help me navigate which carrier actually will give it to you at the most affordable rate. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right, perfect, Calvin. Now, Calvin, God forbid if you were to pass away today, who would be the beneficiary responsible for paying the funeral expenses, picking up all the pieces?
My wife,
Your wife. I got you. What's her name?
Kylie.
Kylie.
Yes.
Got you. Spell that for me.
Kylie.
Kyle. I
Hmm.
got you. And how old's Kylie?
She is 52.
52. I got you. I got you. And Calvin, is Kylie in a financial position to cover a funeral expense, or is that kind of why you were looking into this?
I mean, she'll get my VA stuff, right?
Yeah, it should get your VA and then your Social Security will actually be half, so she will be losing some income. Now, what would it look like for her if she did have to come out of pocket for that?
I don't really know. I don't have anything saved really, so
Gotcha.
I'm not too
Gotcha.
sure
So
that far ahead.
I gotcha. Yeah. So she'd probably have to come out of pocket or go into a little bit of debt or at least, probably deplete a bunch of savings.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Gotcha. And that's kind of why we see most veterans do send in these requests so that, their loved ones aren't burdened with any of those expenses. Now, Calvin, have you thought about whether or not you wanted to be buried or cremated?
Buried.
Buried. Okay. Gotcha. Gotcha. And are you aware of how much a typical burial costs these days?
I don't. Does the VA not pay for that?
Unfortunately, they don't. I wish they did. What they will pay for is a plot and a headstone. So it's going to be around 2 grand off is what they're going to give you at most. Unfortunately, everything else will be coming out of Kylie's pocket. Are you aware of how much that costs?
I don't know.
Okay, gotcha. So after all the expenses the VA will pay, it's going to be around 12 to 20,000. That's just going to be dependent on the fanciness of the service, opening and closing, things like that. Now, Calvin, right now you said you don't have anything put aside in a significant savings or any specific policy for Kylie at the moment, correct?
No.
Okay, gotcha, gotcha. And you said, you didn't want to leave her with a bill. You wanted to leave her with a check, right?
Yeah.
Gotcha, gotcha. And coming out of pocket for that expense for her is obviously going to be pretty tough on Kylie, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha, gotcha. So, Calvin, right now, since you don't have anything as of today, your goal here is to put Kylie in a situation where you just don't leave any financial burden on her when you pass, correct?
Hmm.
Okay, perfect. So now, and then you get into income, you get into health questions, and then you're quoting.
Cool. The one thing I wanted to notice that you guys have noticed here, if you didn't read my message, is like notice tonality. The concern, he sounds concerned. He's genuinely concerned. He's listening to what I'm saying. Yes, he's reading the script, but he's also adapting to what I say. And it's quick. It's not like let me flip through the page and figure out what to say for the objection, right? Like you can tell that he's obviously rehearsed it, he understands it, he knows it, and he knows how to navigate through it whenever he gets objections. Now, real quick for a few objections that I want to touch on that I was writing down as you were talking was let's say you get an objection of I already have coverage.
Yeah, perfect. So whenever you sent this in, were you just looking to get a discount or were you just looking to add additional coverage?
Love it. Write that down, guys. Write these down. Now, let's say I get an objection of I'm not interested.
Yeah, and we're in the very beginning of the script.
Yeah, let's say we're like about the first paragraph in. Like
Okay.
first
Yeah.
portion.
Yeah, Calvin, I'm not super interested either. Unfortunately, they make me do my job. Just to confirm, I do have your date of birth is bang, 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 right?
Yep. Key point
Okay.
there, guys. He agrees with the client, confirms a piece of information, keeps moving on. So just so you understand what's happening. Now, let's say we get into medications and then we're in the application. This shouldn't happen if you do a really good job of actually reading the script and collecting all information. But like, let's say you do get a banking objection. Um, Now, let's say I don't feel comfortable giving that information out. What is your next step?
I got you. And if it's at account or is it so this
Yeah,
is social or account?
let's do a account and routing objection. I don't think people get that many social
Okay.
objections.
Yeah. Yeah, honestly, if you do a really good job, you shouldn't be getting it because you should have already closed them with the golden question, which is your main goal here is to do this, right? But if you do get it, not a problem. I completely understand. Have Calvin, you ever given a checkout?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. If you notice, there is a routing and account number on each one of those. Now, you've probably given it to like somebody that mowed your lawn, right?
Hmm.
Gotcha. The reason you felt safe doing that, giving that to him, is because it is the most secure method of payment. Somebody can't go to the mall down the street, go on a shopping spree. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. What would be weird, Calvin, if I asked you for your card, anything like that, don't give that to anybody over the phone. But since the routing and account is the safest form of payment, that's what the carrier will be using. Now on our end, that routing number, it should start with a bang, bang, bang. Go ahead and confirm that for me.
Boom. Fucking money. Do you guys see that? Do you see how smooth that is? You see how like rehearsed that is? You see the tonality, the confidence, like all of that is so freaking important. I love that. Let's do a social objection. I don't feel comfortable giving that out.
Yeah, neither do I. That's how they're gonna get you the cheapest rate. Go ahead with social.
Boom. Boom, boom, boom. You instantly reply, confirm it, reconfirm.
Yeah.
But
And on
confident,
that one, like honestly, if they give you some more pushback, like you really shouldn't be getting a social objection. The only reason they're going to give you a social objection is because you probably rushed through the why and the client sees no value. So your job is to provide value. Now, if they really are that worried about it, okay, yeah, gotcha. That's how they're going to give you the cheapest rate. Yeah, so don't feel comfortable. I completely understand. Most importantly, this is for Kylie. So that's the only thing that she's going to turn in that is linked to your death certificate. That's how they're going to know to pay her out. Does that make sense?
that
All right,
exactly.
perfect. Go ahead with your social. If
One.
not, dude, I'm just gonna call, like, I'm gonna just gonna FaceTime him. Hey, look, it shows it right here. I need it.
Boom.
Give it to me. And then
I
just
like
move
that.
on.
And then let's move on to like developing good agents and strong sellers. Like we've mentioned many times before, if you're not selling more than 20 grand a month, you're slowly dying and you're losing money. And it's a painful place to be in this business. That's so important to be over 20 grand a month minimum. Minimum. I don't really know how to sell 20 grand a month. I've never really done it. If you have the right lead flow, it's literally impossible not to sell 20 grand or at least like 30, 40 grand a month. But Drew, as you see new people come in, because I mean you've been doing this for 12 months now and probably are more refined than I am at this point at training a new agent early on in the business. Now, during your first 90 days of training a new agent, what are some key things that you have them track that helps you fix whatever's going wrong?
Oh, dude. Oh, I wish I had one sitting right here in front of me. Here's one. I got it. Yeah, these are fire, dude. We print these off. We print these off in our office right here. If you don't have one, dude, I would make one for sure. But what it is, it's a daily activity tracker. I give it to, dude, a new agent gets it every single freaking day. And if they don't have this filled out, I don't help them, by the way. I'll tell them to go fill it out tomorrow, and then I'll help them after that. Because that's important. That's how you develop a leader. You make them self-sufficient for one. But what they're going to track is they're going to track how many leads they dialed. Okay. After that, they're going to track how many pickups they had. Then they're going to track total presentations, and then they're going to track closes. Okay. So you have all these things, and then on the side, you have your objections. This is where you're going to write down where you got stumped at today. Okay. So on what presentation did you get stumped? Or is it the intro? If you fill this out, you fill it out correctly. You fill out how many leads you dialed, you fill out your pickups, your presentations, which is numbers, and then your closes, and then you write down on the side each each objection that you got stuck at. This is going to be very, very easy for you to take this to Calvin and be like, Calvin, look, here it is. And Calvin knows how to sell insurance, and anybody with half a brain that looks at this paper after you filled it out is going to tell you, okay, it's either for one, you don't have lead flow, or you're not working. We're gonna see that right off the bat. So be very, if you're a fake worker, don't fill these out. If you're not, you're gonna know. We're gonna know that you're either working or you're faking it right here in the very beginning. If it's you're getting banged at pickups and they're hanging up, you get a lot of pickups, and you have zero presentations. You obviously suck at the intro or building a why. You suck at one of them. Like you just are horrible. Okay,
Mhm.
that's easy. That's two different word tracks. There's two different word tracks. We can fix it. If it's you're getting a ton of presentations, it's either your why or you suck at numbers. Let's role play both of them, see where you suck at. And
Mhm.
then you're going to have over here on the side, where did you get banged at? What were they saying? After they told you they needed to think about it, what did you say after that? So if you suck at presentations, okay, boom, then you suck at that, we'll figure out one word track and we fix it. If you're getting a ton of presentations and you're not closing it, it's either banking or it's social or
Mhm.
it's some type of application issue. And you can pinpoint it's, dude, it becomes super, super easy for you to fill this out every single day, especially for the first 6 weeks. The first month of an agent's career is the most important. They have to take it seriously. You have to give this to them. You have to be super intentional about filling this out every single day because literally you can have your mentor come in, he'll pinpoint it, it'll take 5 minutes, you'll role play it, you'll fix it tomorrow. And this is exactly what I did with Ronnie Salem. I sucked at getting banking. I had more presentations every day than anybody in this agency probably ever has. I could get presentations. Couldn't close, sucked at it. I was a presenter. I was a professional quoter. And I was horrible, bro. Horrible. Like it got laughable. Like you'll still hear Ronnie Salem say it today. This kid could not get banking to save his life. Couldn't do it. So then I started, he told me to track what was going on. So I tracked it and I would write down what was going on. Like, hey, bro, he said this, he said this, he said this, he said this. He goes, dude, you're going from social to banking in like 4.5 seconds, bro. What do you think? You think he's really going to give you his account number? Hell no, he's not. You sound like a freaking scammer on the phone. He's not giving you his account number. So boom, we got it, we fixed it. And then after that, dude, I was selling 30, 40K a month. And it was easy at that one because I already knew how to go get presentations. I just didn't know how to close.
That's freaking fire.
That's
I
dude, that's the biggest thing and that's the only way I know how to train an agent. It's the only way, you can do mindset this, mindset that, but dude, if you're not tracking your freaking numbers, for one, this isn't serious. You don't actually care about making money, and two, you're just freaking lazy.
Now, last thing to touch on real quick, specifically mindset, and then I'll open it for questions and we can wrap this up. But mindset, I find a lot of new agents good in the beginning of mindset and then slowly taper off with maybe failure of belief if they have a bad day, not a lot of pickups, like something happens, right? And they start losing belief, which is normal and it could happen. But like from a mindset set perspective, how are you preparing new agents for this? How do you prepare yourself? I'm just weird and I wasn't from like I didn't have that problem. I think coming from the military, I just like resilient like that. But like from someone that's a civilian that came off the street, like how do you prepare them for that? How do you get them the right mindset? What are you doing mindset wise?
To prepare somebody, dude, first things first, I'm just gonna ask them what their goals are. Hey, bro,
Hmm.
like, what are your goals? All right, everybody's gonna tell you they have really high goals. Like, okay, dude, what's your risk tolerance?
Okay.
Do you have a risk tolerance? They're going to either say no or they're going to say yes. Okay, got you. What are you doing right now for work? And I'll take whatever they're doing right now and I'll tell them, okay, dude, you're a papa. This is a serious conversation that I had with someone 2 days ago. I said, okay, you're a manager at Papa John's. Okay, got it. How many hours you work a week? He said, like 46. I'm like, okay, you're going to instantly double it the second you decide to come here and do this. Are you all right with that?
Got it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm right with that.
Got it. Got it. Got it. Yeah, okay, good. So the other thing is, dude, nobody's gonna come into the pizza shop and tell you no, they don't want a pizza. Everybody you call is gonna tell you no, they don't want it. Are you okay with that?
Hmm.
All
Yeah.
right, good, bro. Because if it was easy, everybody would do it. We'd make everybody a millionaire. But like, it is a little bit hard. You're all right with that?
Hmm.
Okay, bro. It's gonna get hard. I promise you, it will get hard. Let me ask you a question, dude. You're gonna
Hmm.
come in here. You're gonna get some help in the beginning. You're gonna get some free leads, but in about four to 6 weeks, you're gonna start buying leads. Okay.
Hmm.
Now, and I break down leads, break down how leads work, and
Hmm.
I tell them, hey, bro, you're gonna buy leads one week, and you're gonna break even. How's that gonna make you feel?
Upset. It's gonna make me sad.
Yeah, it's gonna make you sad. Are you gonna quit?
Um, no,
Okay, gotcha. Why?
because I want to make this work.
Because you want to make it work. Okay, got it. You want to make it work. If you come in, you spend $1,200 in leads, and you break even, what are you gonna do next week?
Um, I'm not sure. I haven't thought that far ahead.
I'm not sure. If
It's
I
pretty,
had the answer, would you? If I had the answer, would you want me to tell you?
please.
Yeah, dude, I would buy more leads. I would get more answers. I would ask more questions. I would work more hours. Would you be able to do that?
Yeah.
Okay, bro. Then you'll probably be fine. Now, this is if somebody has like high goals, right?
Yeah, and I think that people that would are like actually true to what they say about making this work and figuring it out and being disciplined will figure out a way to buy leads. They will figure out how to come up with money. They will figure out the things that people say, I don't have money, I don't have this. I like, dude, you will figure it out if you actually want to make this work and you want to make real money in this business, which I think is important. Now, lastly, we had this conversation probably 6 months ago, and I feel like you dealt with it appropriately. But like, if you have someone that's affecting your culture maybe mindset wise, bitching, complaining, like affecting everybody else, specifically your cousin in this example. Like, what did you do to change that, and how did it help? How did it help your business? Did it fuck it up? Like, what ended up happening with that?
Yeah, send them home.
Send them home, and it changed your
Yep.
culture, and you guys grew.
Yep. Absolutely. Oh my God, because when and here's one thing that is going to be the truth about owning a business. You're not going to make everybody happy, and I promise you, I piss a lot of people off. And yeah, it's just what's going to happen whenever you start making a lot of money. Like honestly, guys, like I'm from a really small town. Everybody, like I posted all over my social media. Everybody knows like kind of how much money I make, how much money our guys are making. And dude, I get shots left and right all day long, all day long. But when it's somebody in your business specifically, if they cause a cancer, they'll kill everybody else because cancer spreads. So you cut it out immediately. You never give anybody more than three strikes. You never give anybody more than three chances. So it's done immediately. Now, does that mean you act very emotionally, very reactive? No, you don't. You don't. We don't base our decisions based on emotions. What we do is it's kind of like, and again, I took this from Sean Mike. If you lie, if you hurt a kid or a woman, or if you hurt my team, you're done. And those are no three strikes. That's not three strikes. That is, you do that one time and you're done, and I'm sorry. You're gone. Other than that, like you're gonna give like somebody three chances. Like I really don't like giving up on people because I was young and I was stupid and I was the person that shouldn't have been hired, but someone hired me anyway, and he took me to the next level because I was accountable, because I was coachable, I worked a lot. Now, if somebody continues to prove that they're not accountable, they're not coachable, they can't learn from their mistakes, at that point, hey, dude, like they're gonna wake up as earned one day. So just know you can wake up as earned, and just you'll wake up as earned, and then you're gonna have a conversation with them. Hey, like I just maybe don't feel like you're taking this super serious. And with that being said, this can be a really dangerous spot, and this is where a lot of people will bleed out. A month down the road, something like that, if you decide to take it a little bit more serious, just shoot me a text back, dude, and we can see if we can make it work. But what I want everyone to understand is you're in a business where somebody is above you and they have a switch. They can turn you off, bro. Some people don't realize that. Dude, I could wake up tomorrow, I can piss Ronnie off, and Ronnie can literally, as earn me, terminate all my contracts, and I can be done.
Yeah, that's
Like,
so
that's the
important.
truth of the business.
So important to do the right thing. Be a good team player. People are down to help you. They will help you if you do the right activity, you spin the right on leads, you track your stuff, you know where to get advice from. But if you're just bitching and complaining, then nobody wants to help you. Like that's really the truth, right, Drew?
That's 100% the truth, dude. And our team has a standard that we set, and the standard is keep energy high, keep negativity low. And we'll check, dude. I'll check a person. If I'm sitting in my office, I hear somebody fucking, oh, leads. Hey, bro, are you a man or are you a boy? Are you a man or are you a boy? You here to work or you here to complain? All right, bro. Well, the person sitting right next to you, he's working, he's making it work. Are you gonna complain or are you gonna make it work? Okay, bro. Do you think it's fair for you to complain right next to that guy's ear who's got a child to feed at home? You want to complain in that guy's ear? No, I don't think you do. So let's go back to work, bro. Quit bitching.
Sweet
Nobody wants
man.
to do that.
That was fucking huge. I needed to hear this. I hope everybody else learned a lot. Drop a one in the chat real quick. We'll wrap this up. If you learned something, if you think you'll apply something, if you think it was helpful. Um, there's always this saying in the business that I actually like is sometimes you need the meeting and sometimes the meeting needs you. So it's always one of those two. Figure out when that is for you and make sure you use it and take notes and reapply it and actually put it to work. Because if you don't put it to work, it won't work. Drew, thank you for everything, dude. I can't wait for your road to a million. I'm super excited for you. If there's anything I can do for your team or you, I'm always here for you, bro. But I'm excited to see you at the top.
Absolutely, bro. It's same for you, and hey, same for all of you guys. You guys ever need anything, let me know, bro. Something happens, Calvin, you need me, I'll come shed blood for you, brother. Absolutely. But I appreciate you guys having me on.
Appreciate you, Drew. Have a great day. Hey, guys, thanks for jumping on. We'll do this again next Thursday. We'll continue to have killers on this call. It's always important to jump on because you will learn something new every single time. And one thing to take away from this, guys, is attitude's everything. and make sure you're self-educating yourself at the end of each day and the morning of every single day. Get your mind right, get everything right, because when your mind's right, your business is right, and when your business is right, money's flowing. Appreciate all of you guys. If you need something, please reach out. Have a great